business page.
We're back with our special guest, Dr. Anthony Hamlet, Superintendent of Pittsburgh Public Schools. Dr. Hamlet, thank you again. You have designed a strategic plan, and I gather the idea is to strengthen and reinforce the Pittsburgh Public Schools. What do you think is the most important part of your strategic plan?
I think the most important part of our, as I say all the time, our strategic plan, because I didn't make this up by myself. This was a very collaborative effort with the community, with Pittsburgh Public Schools employees, entities, coming together and really finding out what are our greatest assets, what areas need improvement, and what ideas do you have for us that will bolster and support student growth. So it was done in a very collaborative effort, which I'm excited about. Everybody has to buy in and understanding, and we have put supports directly back into our schools and supports to our central office to make sure we're supporting academic growth in our schools.
You know, this is a complaint that I hear from many school districts around the region, and that is that oftentimes their focus is always on the great students and not on those who are struggling the most. What's the situation at the Pittsburgh Public Schools, and do you hear that concern, and is there some way to address it as part of your plan?
You know what, uniquely you say that, that's something I've been talking about since I've arrived at Pittsburgh. Number one, if you look at around the nation, they look at the lowest 25%, the struggling students. They look at the highest 25%, and they forget the kids in the middle.
They forget the kids in the middle. I've heard that.
It's almost like the middle child syndrome, right? You forget the middle child.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we have robust programming through pre-K through 12. So we're looking at all these areas, also to bolster academic curriculum in our K through 5, in our 6 through 8, and our 9 through 12. So we're focusing on all those areas to make sure we hit all kids and make sure they have great programming to move them throughout the academic levels.
And I think most parents want to feel that there's something for their kids at whatever school they attend.
Absolutely.
And most of us don't have brilliant kids. They tend to be like us. We might think they're brilliant, but they're, you know, average like everybody
They're brilliant in their own unique way. Everybody is. Absolutely.
You're absolutely right, Anthony. I couldn't agree with you more. I think before the show you mentioned something about the valedictorians and salutatorians.
Yeah.
There's some special program going on here?
Thank goodness the University of Pittsburgh, they just announced a program, the Pittsburgh Public Scholars Program. Well, basically they will automatically accept all of our high school, Pittsburgh Public Schools, their valedictorians and their salutatorians, direct entry into University of Pittsburgh.
Scholarship?
Yeah, scholarship. They'll get some scholarship dollars and some additional support to attend University of Pittsburgh.
So
absolutely amazing.
So if you're the top student, you get a well, not quite a free ride, but you certainly get.
And you know what happens also, and so just real quick, when I got the call from Dr. Humphreys, she said we have this great program. We're going to accept your salutatorian and your valedictorian. So I hung up the phone, had a conversation with my staff real quick, and I called her back and said, Doc, you know, some of our schools, like Alderdice, have 14 valedictorians. She said, we know, we're going to accept all of them.
Wow.
As an example. So some of our schools have multiple valedictorians and salutatorians. Wow. All the students will be accepted.
Right. Let me ask you this,
awesome
sort of on the current news level, the teachers union, are you going to settle with the teachers?
Hopefully, that's one of my major priorities, to make sure we settle.
No strike?
No strike.
You're sure of
I'm positively looking forward to making sure we settle and move forward with the contract soon.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other part of your job is, I mean, we've talked a lot about education, but you also clearly are administrator. Is there anything new out of the Pittsburgh Promise?
Pittsburgh Promise right now, actually, you know what's happening in Pittsburgh Promise? Formerly, they were having our CTE students access their Pittsburgh Promise dollars early to take college credits.
Right.
Now they've expanded that to all students. So we'll be beginning to expand dual enrollment in early college, and those kids can access the Pittsburgh Promise dollars early to pay for those college credits.
You know, we're a big fan of the Pittsburgh Promise here on this show. We have them on all the time, and it's one great reason to go to the Pittsburgh Public Schools. If you're there for 4 years, you get a lot of money to go to any university in Pennsylvania.
We're trying to create these pathways where if a kid enters at the right time in 9th grade, begins to take those early college on dual enrollment courses, they can actually graduate with an AA degree or 60 credits when they graduate high school.
Right. So if we have you back a year from now, which I know we will, maybe even sooner, tell me, what is it we're going to say about the second year of Dr. Anthony Hamlet as superintendent?
I think you're going to say amazing things have happened, and we look for amazing things to continue to happen. So again, we're at this precipice right now where we have the support of the community, we have the support of our organization, and we're moving forward together as stakeholders, as Pittsburgh Public Schools, and as community to support our children and where we need to go. And also, you alluded to something earlier. So goes our public schools, so goes our city. We want to make sure that you don't have to choose any particular school. You can choose any school in Pittsburgh Public Schools, and you'll get a high-quality education, safe learning environment, and a nurturing environment in anywhere you go in Pittsburgh Public Schools. That's our focus. That's where we're moving to.
That's an absolutely great focus. Final question. As a former National Football League linebacker, let me ask you, do you think that your NFL background has had some impact on your work as an educator here in Pittsburgh?
I think it has. It gives you access to students. Students want to talk about that. You automatically have that relationship because majority of the male students want to be sports figures of some kind. They want to play football, basketball, baseball. Right. So you have that access and begin that conversation. But I also impart and begin to talk about academics. And I tell them I couldn't have gotten as high as I've gone without having good character. Because if a college is going to give you $50,000 a year to go represent them, they're going to check on your character way back to middle school. Right. So, how you showing out in the space? Do you have good character? Are you a good person? Are you academically sound? Are you a good person? They want to know these things because you're going to be their spotlight person. Absolutely. And spending $50,000 and upwards of $200,000 over 4 years. So that's important. Yeah,
it is important. You were Seahawks?
Seahawks, a little bit. Indianapolis Colts for a little bit as well. I played up in Canada, played some arena football, so I've been around the block.
Can you say go Steelers?
Absolutely. Go Steelers. Absolutely.
Dr. Anthony Hamlet, welcome again to Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
Thank you for your first year wrap up here, and we're going to have you back for sure. Thank you.
I look forward to coming back.
When the Sunday Business page continues, another dream comes true when PPG